All right, thank you. So as usual, right, I'll be calling the CVs, but we'll be calling your name, right? So no, I won't call your name, rather, sorry. I'll be actually mentioning some of your information, right? So that you can uniquely identify yourself. So when you do identify yourself, please send a private chat to me. Don't send it to everybody because I really don't want anyone to know that it's your CV anyway. So that will be between me and you. And one thing I want to say also, right? When I do review CV, I don't review what you put in there. Whether you lie or you don't lie, it's not my own, to be honest. Let me put that as a disclaimer. All right. I review the CV based on the content and based on what I'm expecting a CV to have. Where you get the content, how you got it, is not my issue. So basically, right, I will just review based on what you put in there, how I think a good CV should look like, yeah. So yeah. And then what you do with the CV after is your own, yeah. What you do with it before, what you did before and after, I think is your call anyway. So let me just put that out there. So okay. Uh, yeah. So okay, the first CV, 1 minute, I think this person. Okay. So the first CV review. Okay, the telephone number ends with 672, and your postcode ends with 1EQ, and your email address ends with id@yahoo.com. Telephone number ending with 672. Okay, so yeah, from the profile, it looks okay. All right, that is really, really fine. And even though I could have preferred the heading to be more pronounced in terms of your name, but I think it's good as well. So I don't have any issues with that. Technical skills, there's a gap within the technical skills and the list of your technical skills. So if you can remove that gap, there's a space in between. The same thing applies to the professional experience as well. Anyway, so if you can remove it, I like how you kind of put like a subtitle, Scrum tools, and you listed methodology and you list them as well, so which I think is really, really good. So well done on that. So Brasta stack, I think is one word. You need to look into that. And the B should be capital B. Okay. So you need to look into that. So except from that, so yeah, professional experience. Okay. All right. So I think key achievements is good anyway. So yeah. Yeah, I like the fact that there's some buzzword within that anyway, so which is good. Yeah. So, and based on the tools that you've kind of put at the top, which I think is good because some of the tools has got QA. So looking back into your experience, there's QA tools in there, which I think is really, really good. It just shows that you've got a progression from QA to become what you are now doing right now, which I think is good anyway. So the only thing I would want to say is from an agile tester to, I think it's okay to a project manager. It's fine anyway. So that progression is okay. So I think yeah, the CV looks good and looks nice to me, to be honest. So I think yeah, and the fact that yeah, the only thing that I can say is like maybe if you want to be consistent anyway. So in the previous role, you said led and managed. So I think after that you assisted the project. So instead of coaching, supporting. So maybe you want to use the past tense as well anyway for previous roles. So you just the present should be uh, should be present tense, and also the past road could be in past tense. So that's another thing that you want to do anyway, so which is fine. So education, I'm going to assume that you haven't got any BSc or MSc or anything anyway, but that's fine. So if that is the case, then what you put in there is okay. If not, you can look into that. And there's a space between the education qualification and what you put. You can remove the gap anyway. And also, I think in terms of education, okay. 1 minute. Yeah. So you see where you have the technical skills, the font in the technical skills should be the same font as well with the educational qualification. So I think you cannot miss the font on that one. But except from that, I think, yeah, this is a good CV. Well done. Okay. So moving on to the next person, your telephone number ends with 231. So, and your email address ends with 26@gmail.com. If you're there, let me know. So your name starts with O and your surname also starts with O. Your telephone number ends with 3231. Your telephone number ends with 231. Okay. All right, so I think this is I like the format. This is really, really brilliant, to be honest. I think I'm kind of loving it. This is one of the best CV that I've seen actually in terms of layout and format and consistent of that as well. So this is really, really, really good anyway. So one thing if I were you, right, so I would put the education and certificate to the top, right? That's what I would do anyway. So that, yeah, everything will be on the everything about me will be on the front page anyway. So, but this is really, really good anyway. So then another thing that I would also do, I think I wanted to say that before now. Yeah, I would also add the LinkedIn profile itself rather than putting the link, right? I'll put the URL basically because if this is printed, the link will be completely gone. So I think, yeah, put the URL and also then let the URL be clickable, right? So except from that, this is really, really brilliant. So yeah, um, okay. So another thing that I might also put a little twist to is in terms of customer strategy. Yeah, instead of customer, I would just say business anyway, instead of saying customer strategy analysis anyway, because yeah, it's just title. And then also, yeah, because from that you also say executive market research and everything, which is what a business analyst would do anyway. So that's another thing I would do. And there's a big gap between 2017 to 2024. So that might be something that you want to explain or you want to fill in the gap. So that's another thing. Except from that, I think this is really, really good. Well done. Okay, so the next person, your CV starts with, sorry, your telephone number ends with 484, telephone number ending with 484, and your email ends with o@gmail.com. If you're there, let me know. So your name starts with M, okay? And your name starts with M and B, okay. All right. So before I go, the same thing applies to the last person I reviewed the CV. I think your name, right? So unless if you don't want to change the name, so I would say maybe shorten the name to what people call you anyway. So yeah, maybe start with the one with the Y or start the one with the O with the 3-letter words anyway. That is for the last person. The same thing applies for this particular person that I'm also looking into, unless you are particular about the long name, right, which is okay. Anyway, it's your choice. So, but if not, I would say you should look at the short version of your name, right? So you can just use the two-letter words, the first two-letter word that starts anyway. So, and then, yeah, so you can leave the rest, right? So, and that will be it. So, maybe you just got a new Christian from me anyway. So maybe so that would make it easier for Caucasians to pronounce anyway. So okay, and yeah, this is a good CV as well. So well done on that aspect. So and another thing that I would want to say in terms of your education and education, I don't know why you bold some part of that is bolding. So I think you should just leave everything without the bold anyway. So leave the rest like that anyway. So that's fine. And so this is an ability. Okay, 3 columns. If you don't know how to do that, check out my CV on CV creation. I actually went through how to create 3 columns, or just Google how to make create columns for your on Microsoft Word anyway. So you can change that to 3 columns, the technical skills and the soft skills. Okay, so that would be good. If you do that, then the first page of your CV will be your profile summary, education, soft skills, and the skills and the technical skills, everything on the first page. Then your experience will start on the second page. 1 minute, let me even check properly. So on a new format. Oh, okay. All right. So just ignore me then. So I think I can see better on the new format. So I think you've done it anyway. So we're done for that one. So yeah. So I think, yeah, so it's kind of good. But yeah, you still need to remove the board on the education and certification anyway. So the column there is good. So really good as well. So another thing that you need to look into, responsibility. So there's a part that says setting up and maintain. So you have to be consistent anyway. So if I'm saying setting up and maintaining Agile too. So instead of setting up and maintaining, so you just need to look into that. Yeah, so that you can change that. So then Azure DevOps is capital O, okay? The O is capital Dev, DEVOPS, capital D, capital O, if you want to put that. I think this is really good. I found that you actually kind of follow the process anyway. So well done on that aspect. Yeah. So another thing that you need to look into is you got two overlapping roles, right? You need to kind of, yeah, because they will be they will be looking at that anyway. So 2 overlapping role, you need to watch that. Okay. So if you have 2 overlapping role, you need to ensure that, yeah, this is yeah. I would, yeah, I would remove one, right? So yeah, anyway, otherwise you have to be, yeah, you would you'll be answering questions where if you are doing 2 jobs, then what happens if I give you a role? Yeah. So, okay. Set from that. So another thing is the tools, Google Drive. I think there's a typo there also. I think you can also kind of do a quick, what's it called? Corrections or typo, maybe check your your CV. But it's look good for me anyway. So just make sure that you kind of make those changes anyway. Yeah. So another thing also, yeah, this applies to everybody as well. If you have Nigeria on your, for instance, blah 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 company Nigeria, you don't need to, if you are looking for a job in UK, just remove the Nigeria anyway. When they ask you, you can say it's in Nigeria. Okay. So because that's another thing that people talk about, don't have UK experience. That's So if you work with this weekend, so I would say, yeah, I work with some blah 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 limited. You remove the Lagos, remove the Nigeria. So yeah, so that's another thing that I want you to do anyway. So okay, all right, cool. Okay, moving on to the next person. Okay, I think I will skip this because there's another one coming. Skip this one as well. Okay. So next person, your telephone number ends with 332. That's your telephone number. Telephone number ending with 332. And yeah, your email address ends with s@gmail.com. If you're there, let me know. Okay. So if you're there, let me know. So, okay, someone is saying, is it okay to see abroad? I don't think you need that as well, to be honest. So just don't put any address anyway. So when they ask you at the interview, yeah, you can say it's abroad anyway. But on your CV, you don't need to. You don't need to put it. Yeah, anyway. But of course, you could just say, yeah, it's in Nigeria anyway. That's fine. But if you want to say abroad, that's also is okay. Anyway, so okay. And yeah, okay. The person I'm reviewing the CV, your telephone number ends with 332, and your email ends with s@gmail.com. And okay, are you there? So before I add another thing, so and you live in Scotland anyway. Yeah. So you live in Scotland, your telephone number ends with 332, and your email ends with ss@gmail.com. Okay. So, okay. And so, okay. All right. So one thing that I can say, this is good. I like a professional summary. Okay, you do not require authorization to work in the UK, which is brilliant. And also, yeah, and the key achievements is listed in there, which is fine. Then the professional summary, yeah. So Blue Sky Citadel is not in Scotland, so you want to remove that anyway. So yeah, okay. So and date to present, okay, that is fine. So another thing I can ask everybody, okay, your CV, I think you should justify it, okay? Align it to justify. And it's going to really, really nice, to be honest, if your CV is kind of justified, if you know what I mean. Okay, this applies to everybody. Your CV, ensure that you justify everything. Everything that can be justified, just make sure they're aligned. So when they're justified, they are in the block, actually. So which I think is really, really nice anyway. So if you can do that, that would be good. Yeah. So, okay. So next one. So like I told the other guy as well, to be honest, so instead of customer, I think I will just put business on the other one as well on the next row, starting. So business service advisor anyway. So that would be okay. So, and okay. So I think you can put the role as a program manager at the top as well, to be honest, rather than putting at the bottom. So I think I would move it to the top anyway. So, and location, yeah, this is just shows that this is from what's it called? ChatGPT anyway. So yeah, please remove the location, okay? So, and yeah. So the location that I put there in brackets, so I will say remove it. So bring that one up. I mean, after the one for the January, the one ending, hold on, no. Yeah, the one that start with January 2023, put the other one there. So that will really be good. Anyway, so okay. And also it's a Bachelor of Education. There's no title for the course. Okay, if you want to add that one as well. Anyway, so if that's okay. So, and business analyst certification, you just put certification body. So I think you need to remove those ones as well anyway. So if that's fine, yeah. So aside from that, I think this looks good. Anyway. Okay. So next person, your telephone number, your telephone number ends with 055 and your email ends with 147 at gmail.com, 147 at gmail.com. Your telephone number ends with 055. So if you are there, just send a private chat to me. If you're there, just send a private chat, okay? So 055, that's your telephone number. Yeah, that's your telephone, the end of your telephone number. So unfortunately, this is not really there at all, to be honest, okay? This thing need a lot of work. There's nothing here at all. Experience, no. So, So I think you need to, yeah, go and watch my CV, my video, and yeah, and then you will be able to see what I'm looking for anyway. So, okay. So next thing, your telephone number ends with 625, and your postcode ends with 8RG. If you are there, let me know 8RG. So 8RG is your postcode. Send a private chat to me. So your telephone number ends with 625. Your email ends with a@outlook.com. Your name starts with a T, okay? Are you there? Okay, okay. I'll just do a quick overview, okay? So okay, so what you need, I think this is good. I like yeah, the profile summary is detailed. It's good. So I think you need to put a paragraph, put a line after the first paragraph so that they separated. Okay, so competency is good. Skill highlights, yeah. And Azure DevOps, I always say this, Azure DevOps, the O inside is O. Change that everywhere. So if that's okay. So, and you say virtual studio, it's not virtual studio, it's visual studio, to be honest. So that it's a big error in on your CV, to be honest. Okay. So, and okay, looking at the professional experience. So I think looks good to me, to be honest. at the other role, right, I think you might also want to look at the title, how you can change the title, because in the responsibility, you say formulate, maintain robust quality assurance standards. So that is basically like testing. So you want to put that in there, maybe, yeah, quality service, blah, blah, and engineer, something like that along that line. So then you only put those roles that you did that related to testing, performing comprehensive functional performance testing or building system. Those are the things that you want to kind of, yeah, put in there anyway, which I think it is okay because there's some of the responsibility that aligns with that. Identify document, manage defects, which is already on your CV, use data-driven insight on continuous integration. Yeah, so those are the things that yeah, it's fine, but maybe just look into the title anyway. So yeah, so that is fine. So yeah. So except from that, I think it looks good to me anyway. Yeah. Okay. Next one. Okay. So the next person, your telephone number ends with 300. If you're there, please do let me know. Send a chat to me. 300. That's your telephone number. And your email address ends with wo@yahoo.co.uk. wo@yahoo.co.uk. Your name starts with a D. Your name starts with D, and your telephone number ends with 300. So yeah, one thing that I want to say, I think the some professional summary is okay. So I would kind of align all the title to the left, to be honest. So because what is happening here, it's all over the place, to be honest. So in terms of I think you kind of centralize everything, which is totally wrong. Okay, align everything to the left first, and if you then want to justify them, then that's fine. So I think, yeah, even for me reading them, I can't even make a head or tail on what is there because of the excuse me, because of the alignment, right? So please ensure that you first do that, then also upload it again. So looking, yeah, okay. Okay, I think I have done this one. Okay. Yeah, I've done this one anyway, so okay. Okay. The next person, I'm reviewing the CV right now. Your telephone number ends with 352, and your postcode ends with 3XL, 3 Sugar Lima, 3 Sierra Lima. So your telephone number ends with 352. If you're there, can you send a private chat to me? So your email ends with et@gmail.com. Yeah, your RET@gmail.com. Your telephone number ends with 352, and your postcode ends with 3SL. Okay. All right. This thing needs a lot of work work. I think you need to sit down with it, to be honest. So, and as a data analyst, if I'm right, so then yeah, presentation is key, right? So because one of the things that you have to be doing is visualization of your data. So, and your CV should be something that you should present in a better format. So even the bullet points is all over the place. Okay. I think in terms of text, you get it right. So maybe you should look for a different templates that you can copy and paste the content, because you can see that the contents are there. And even with that, you need to be careful, because the text they are not continuous, right? There's a break line in between all the text anyway. So you need, yeah, and also responsibilities in different place and everything. So yeah, I think you need to look at the formatting of this, please. So, and to get a new template, then copy the content. Just maybe copy the content first, put it in a notepad, then copy it into that particular template. Okay. So if you can do that, that would be good. And yeah, I think the content is okay, but you need to, yeah, ensure that you write it in a better format. Okay. All right. So I'm going to skip this one for now. So the next person, your telephone. Okay. This is, where do I start with this now? Okay, 1 minute. I just need to kind of see how this looks like if I do download it, because it's not really looking good online. All right. Okay, so this person, your telephone number ends with 502. Okay, 502, and your telephone number ends with open online on the browser. It doesn't look good anyway. Basically, okay. All right. The person I was reviewing the CV before, telephone number ends with 502, and your postcode ends with 7LX, and your email ends with 0@outlook.com. So I think this, yeah, when I open this CV in Word, it looks good anyway. So, but if you open it on the inside the browser, is not, the formatting is not really great. I don't know whether that is a risk on its own, right? Because it just shows that if they open it with a browser, because some people would do that anyway, so you might not see it properly. But except from that, it looks good, and the content also is good as well. So to be honest, you don't need to say role, project, yeah, blah, blah. Remove the intern, okay? Just say project manager, okay? That's what you need to do. I would kind of do it like that. Blue sky sister there, yeah, maybe London or that, but then followed by your role, project manager rather, then the date at the top. So you remove the row that you have before the responsibility, put it in between the kingdom and the date, actually. So except from that, and do the same thing for the next one as well. Okay. And yeah. So I think okay. Okay. Another thing for you, I think it can remove the one in between interstate and the other row, because at that point you are in school, right? You can be able to say, yeah, I went to do my education and everything. So you remove the middle row, right? So I think that would really, that will help you. Just remove the middle one, and you can actually put a break there and say, okay, career break, and went to uni and that will really be good anyway. So yeah, so to replace that one in the middle anyway. Except from that, I think it looks good anyway. So yeah. Yeah, I like the layout is brilliant as well. Anyway, yeah. Mm. Okay. So okay. The next person, your telephone number. Okay. Telephone number ending with 3749. So let me know if you're there. So, and you can send a chat to me. So I'm not saying Telegram chat, because I can some people saying Telegram chat. So I said you should send a chat on the Zoom, private chat on the Zoom. Okay. So yeah, this person, your telephone number ends with 3749, and your name starts with A, and your um, email ends with o@gmail.com. And the same thing I said to the other person as well. So you want to consider the name, whether you want to, yeah, shorten it, is your name. I would say maybe you should consider that. So I think the last part of your name, maybe if I were to propose, I would just say go. That is if, yeah, if you're applying to the UK, because I can see telephone number. It's not. So, and another thing, yeah, you still, yeah, I think I would recommend that you also get a template, right? Because this one is not really good as, yeah. So it's kind of, the template is lost, yeah. So get a new template that will allow you to be able to do what you need to do. Okay. But in terms of content, I think you've already got the content. If you can get a better template, that will really be good. But I like the professional summary is good. The skills is, I think you put it in two columns, but yeah, maybe just make it three columns. That would be good anyway. So yeah, certification is fine. Yeah. So experience is, but I would say, yeah, get a new template that would bring your work out anyway. Okay. Next person, okay. Next person, your telephone number ends with 907. That is 9907. Your name starts with D, and your email starts with 683@gmail.com. I'm not going to review this CV, to be honest, because I've asked you to make some corrections, and I don't see those corrections right now. In the previous one, I asked that you make some corrections anyway, but I can't see them on that one. Okay, I'm going to move to the next person. Your telephone number ends with 080. Your postcode ends with 3BX. So, and your email ends with i@gmail.com, i@gmail.com. If you're there, let me know, okay? And yeah. So, okay, for this person, right? So, one, the postcode in UK, yeah. So, the postcode is always in capital letter if you want to look into that. So, and also, yeah, I like the heading, it's fine. The it's brilliant, and also the summary is good as well. Anyway, however, right, so responsibility, I think that is too punchy, right? Straight to the point. Now, I think you need to write it as a sentence, at least one line or 1.5 lines. So yeah, so I think you need to, yeah, you can see the one that you wrote for the other role, providing overnight, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so that moves into the next line anyway. So I think you need to do more on that responsibility for the data analyst role anyway. Okay. All right, the next person, your telephone number ends with 560, 560, and your email ends with 197@gmail.com. If you're there, please send a private chat to me, okay? Your telephone number ends with 560 and your email ends with 197. 197. Okay. Do we have this person? Okay. Your telephone number ending with 560 and your email ending with 197. I'm asking you to send Zoom private chat to me, Zoom private chat anyway. Okay. And your name starts with S, and yeah, and your telephone number ends with 50560. Okay. I would still ask you to use a different template, to be honest. So yeah, I think you need to use a different template. So, and you can do more in terms of the professional, personal profile. I think if you can double that, you put like 4 lines. I would say add another 4 lines. Okay. In terms of the skills, okay, this is good. We're done on that. Yeah. So C#, spec flow, basic understanding. You don't need to put basic understanding anyway. Let them confirm that you have basic understanding. Do you get it now? Just say C#, spec flow. That's fine. Yeah. Testing terminology, which is good. And we're done to that. So, and experience, so may blah blah to present, not to current. Yeah, that's what you put anyway. So, and you didn't even put the role. Actually, I didn't see the role. So you need to add the role as well. So that's why I said, okay, you need to kind of look at another template, because those templates will give you how if CV should be formatted, and then you can use it. So if you don't know what to do, watch my video on the CV curation that we did a few weeks ago, and or month anyway. So okay. So except from that, I think, yeah, the responsibilities, okay, I can see what you've done right now. I think the projects are split into two, which is good anyway. So yeah, so which I think is really, really brilliant. But if you can add a few responsibility, but to be honest, this is what I would have preferred actually. So you put your responsibility together, because responsibility on the project might be the same. Put responsibilities together, right? And then list the project at the bottom. Okay. These are my responsibility. You put like 10 responsibilities, and then you will list the project. On long range project, this is what long range project is about, which I think, yeah, brilliant, you've added, yeah, and this is my responsibility. This is what I did. You just kind of put it, and then you also add the tools, and well done for adding the achievements as well. So those are the things that I want you to put in there anyway. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. So if you can make those corrections, that would be good. Okay. And oh, my time is fast spent anyway. So okay, next person. Okay. I think I have seen this before. Okay, no. Yeah, I think. Okay. All right. So I think so, yeah, I think I've seen this one before, right? So, and which I think this one is better than the one that you uploaded before. So this person, your telephone number ends with 6300, and your email ends with o@yahoo.co.uk, and okay, and your name starts with D, and yeah. So okay, and I think I'm not sure which one I prefer, whether the one that I did before or this one. So, but this one looks good as well, to be honest. So in terms of format, yeah, hold on. Okay, this one is definitely better anyway, so I think I will stick with this. Yeah, so okay. Yeah, this is good anyway. So well done on that one. Yeah. So one thing I can say is like the LinkedIn, right? You put the link. Okay. I would rather put the link on the full URL anyway. So if you can add that. And for me, I would also bring the education to the top anyway, but that is just my preference anyway. So okay, but this is good. Well done. Yeah. So then next one, your telephone number ends with 664. And I think I have corrected this before. All right. Yeah, I can't see any changes, to be honest. I have done this review, and for yeah, your telephone number ends with 664, right? And your email ends with 26@yahoo.com. I have reviewed this and I don't see any changes from the previous one I have reviewed. Okay. Unless you let me know, right? If you send a message to me right now to let me know if you've done any changes. Anyway, you just look at the one I've reviewed. So please do check on my comments. Yeah. So let me know. Right. So your email ends with 26@yahoo.com. Your telephone number ends with 664. Okay, let me know. And the same thing applies to this person as well, to be honest. So uh, uh telephone number ending with 785. 785. Your name starts with D, and your email ends with us at yahoo.com. gus@yahoo.com. I have reviewed this one. To be honest, I don't see any difference from the one that said I've given a feedback as well. So, and yeah, please do watch my video on the previous one that I did anyway. So, yeah. So please, thank you. So, okay, I think that's it. So one thing I can say, if you are opportune to, if I review your CV and you want to watch the video, you can binge watch, right? What it means is that you just increase the speed, because I know it's 1 hour. You don't want to sit 1 hour. So just increase the speed maybe 2 times, okay? So that you just go on then until when you get to your turn anyway. So then you can be able to, because I've seen some people uploading their CV again without having to change what I said. So, okay, all right. I think that is it for today. So